Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. In this video, I have what I term the perfect unisex fragrances, and I have 10 of them. Sometimes we assign roles to these fragrances. We term them as masculine leaning or feminine leaning, but for me, I just feel like fragrances for the most part are really gender neutral, but for some people, based on the notes and how they come across, they might really see them as masculine leaning or feminine leaning. But these ones are, to me, what I consider the perfect unisex fragrances. The very first one I have here is Nasheet by Lattafa. This to me is very gender neutral. This has a perfect balance of spice and sweetness. For the gourmand lovers who are into vanilla, this is a very good one, especially at a dry down. And for the men who want something much more spicy, this is going to do for you, especially at the opening, with that burst of ginger. And I think it has some cardamom, something very spicy, a bit fresh. It is perfect, It is a very neutral fragrance when it comes to gender. I don't see, it gravitating towards one gender or the other. It is a perfect unisex fragrance to me, If you are into spicy fragrances or fresh spicy vanilla fragrances, this is absolutely one to watch out for. Nasheet by Lattafa. If you love Nasheet by Lattafa, then you absolutely love this one. It's been compared to Grand Soir, and that has been marketed towards men for the most part. But this particular one, it has the right amount of sweetness and the right amount of spice. You get that beautiful plum and grapefruit, and then you get the amber, the amber and vanilla. It is quite similar to Nasheet, They have similar nuances with the vanilla and the fruity aspect of it. This is beautiful. I see it as a very neutral fragrance. I'll not say this one gravitates towards one gender or the other. This one is perfect, for those who love spicy vanilla ambre sort of fragrances. This is very beautiful. It is super long lasting. Do not be alarmed by the fact that Grand Soir has been marketed towards men. This one is super good. It is spicy enough, but not like overwhelmingly, something that is going to overwhelm you in a very bad way. It is spicy, it is sweet, it is fruity. It is one that you absolutely need to check out. So this is Eternal Oud by Lattafa. The next one I highly recommend is Sienna by FA Paris. This is, obviously a dupe of Tiziana Teresa's Spirito Fiorentino, which goes in the line of the Baccarat Rouge. If you feel Baccarat Rouge doesn't do it for you, but you still want something in that sort of family, try this one. This is beautiful. It has additional leather with some, like leather or suede with some earthy patchouli mix. It is beautiful. It is quite earthy. It is quite dense. It leans much more woody as compared to Baccarat Rouge, which is much more airy. This one is beautiful. It is a perfect unisex fragrance. I will not say, I will not assign any gender to this one. It is perfect. If Baccarat Rouge didn't do it for you because you probably assume it's too feminine, try this one. This one is super amazing. And this is Siana by FA Paris as part of their Giovanni Lorenzi line. The next fragrance on this list is an obvious dupe of an Amouage fragrance known as Crimson Rocks, and this one is called Abracing. This is beautiful. A very spicy cardamom, some cinnamon with some honey. This is delicious, but it doesn't lean, anyway. It is a perfect unisex fragrance. It is super sweet, but not to the extent that men will be put off by this, It's also very spicy and earthy, but not in a way that women will also be put off by this one. It has a very balanced nature. It has that spice. It has the honey. The honey makes it quite sweet. It has that earthiness, It is such a perfect balance when it comes to sweet and woody, or sweet and earthy. So this is Abracing by FA Paris. The next one I have here is Infini Rose by Alhambra. Obviously fashioned after Initio's Atomic Rose. This is beautiful. Although it has like double or triple layer of roses, it doesn't come off as very feminine to me. It doesn't give that sort of ultra feminine vibes like the Delina, for example. This is beautiful. It is perfect. It's like just right in the middle between masculine and feminine. This is one that I would highly recommend, Even aside that, the scent profile is so beautiful, like for men who just want to tap into a bit of their femininity, this is one that I would highly recommend. So this is Infini Rose by Alhambra. The next one on this list is Waffa. Don't be scared about Waffa because it's been marketed towards men for the most part, but do not be scared. It is quite earthy and sort of it's like a gourmand earthy fragrance. It has coffee, it has some chocolate nuance, it has some patchouli, it has some vetiver. It is quite, you know, delicious, at the same time earthy. It is quite robust. It is not like a very fluid sort of fragrance, you know, it's quite robust, but it's for the bold and beautiful. It is such a boss chic sort of fragrance, you know, like for men, this is like one that you can easily grab and go. For women, do not be scared about Waffa. This is delicious, it is sexy, it is gourmand, but gourmand done in a different, you know, way, with some earthy nuances associated with this one. This is beautiful. It is delicious, but not to the extent of it becoming annoyingly cloying. Chocolate, coffee, some caramel, some vanilla, some patchouli, some vetiver, some, you know, a host of notes, and it's very, very beautiful. It's perfectly unisex. So this is Waffa. Yet another gourmand I would highly recommend as a perfect unisex fragrance is Ishq Al Shuyukh by Lattafa. This one needs no introduction. I think I've spoken about this severally. This is beautiful. Suede, leather, birch, earthy, caramel, amber. This is beautiful. It is very thick, very resonant, very rich, very dense, very intense. It has every single thing that you need in a fragrance when it comes to gourmand or gourmand leaning scents. It is not overly gourmand like the food edible sort of gourmand. It gives you the right amount of leather. It gives you the right amount of caramel. It is sweet, but that earthy, leathery nuance sort of grounds this one and becomes so beautiful. So this is perfectly unisex. I would highly recommend this for both genders. It is very gender neutral. So this is Ishq Al Shuyukh by Lattafa. The next fragrance I would highly recommend as a very gender neutral fragrance is Kismet Angel by Alhambra. This doesn't sway, you know, to any side. It doesn't sway feminine. It doesn't sway masculine to me. You know, I think I've recommended it for men, but to me, it's a perfect unisex fragrance. You know, even Hamra, you know, I'll add Hamra to this. It's like they are both perfectly unisex fragrances. It has that right amount of gourmand without being too much. You know, it is like people have associated this with Christmas. I don't really see that per se. You know, yes, I would say Christmas sort of, you know, festive vibes, but I mean, for all occasions, for night outs, you know, at a bar with some cigar, this is sexy. This is beautiful for men, for women. This one to me has something like a very silky quality. You know, there's something silky about it. If it had a texture, I would say it is silky. It has a sort of fine silk sort of feel to it, you know, when you spray it on yourself. So this is Kismet Angel that I would highly recommend for both sexes. Like, forget about whatever people say in terms of assigning roles to them. This is beautiful. Try this one if you are looking for anything in the angel share vibes. It is amazing, and as a matter of fact, it's one of the best clones of angel share I have come across. So this is Kismet Angel by Amhambra. I almost forgot about one fragrance here. I finished filming, but I had to come back and just insert this one. And this fragrance is called Eternal Coffee by Paris Corner. I assume a lot of people might think this is marketed towards women, but I think it is very unisex. It is not too sweet, for example, like the French coffee. Even French coffee, I believe, is perfectly unisex, you know. This one has that sort of latte milk, coconut milk nuance to it, you know, the more, and mixed with that espresso. When you layer this one is Waffa, it is beautiful. Eternal Coffee is perfectly unisex. I will not box it to one particular gender. It is very neutral. Men can rock this one, especially when you layer it with other fragrances. This is beautiful, and I'll highly recommend this one, Eternal Coffee by Paris Corner. And the last fragrance I have here is Killer Oud Sunrise by FA Paris. I think this one has also been marketed towards men. I think this one is actually a clone of Amouage Sunshine Man. But trust me, do not be scared. If you're a woman, trust me, this is good. If you love the Nasheet, the what's the name? The Nasheet and the Eternal Oud, you're going to love this one. It follows in that spicy, fruity, ambery nuance, you know, sort of vibes. Try and sample this one at least. The dry down is so beautiful. You know, the dry down is so beautiful. It doesn't come across as too masculine, you know. I think I've had this for over a year, and after maturation, this is much beautiful than when I initially got it. You know, it's mellowed down beautifully when it comes to the spices. It's got the typical bergamot, you know, that is associated with a lot of men fragrances, but this one has that vanilla, that spice, that amber, which makes it quite different. So it is a perfect unisex fragrance that I would highly recommend. So that is all I have for you, and I hope this video found you well. Thank you so much for your time here, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.